Headed out of Stuart, Florida today with Captain Ben Chansey of Chew on This and Josh Jorgensen of blacktiph H with my wife Crystal on our 10-year wedding anniversary bucket list charter trip. We're targeting Goliath groupers and bullsharks. Sure enough, we had to catch some bait. We're targeting sardines out in the middle of the ocean. The technique to this is just letting it drop straight down and jigging it up and down till you find the right area. When one hits it, they'll all come and hit it at once then too. The trick is to get all 5 at once, but I was not that good.
They hit it on the fall.
Well, now that we got some sardines, we had to go up the food chain and get some bigger baits, so we had to target some bonita. So we threw out some baits to catch some bonita, and we got hooked up. Josh is hooked up with a personal best bonita here, and he's going to become eventually Goliath grouper or bullshark bait. All right, now that we got this bonita, it's going to become bullshark bait. Now we have to get the bullsharks brought in, so we start chumming the water and letting the bonita bleed out a little bit. And you always watch on TV and hear the stories about chumming and letting the blood in the water, how it attracts sharks. Well, oh my goodness, let me tell you this. When we started doing that, about 15 minutes later, we attracted 3 large bull sharks, about 7 to 8 feet in length, and they only hung around our boat. There was 3 other boats out there, but those 3 would constantly circle and search our boats for the bait. All right, Crystal's hooked up with a bonita now. Now, they always talk about bonita being a trash fish. Let me tell you, these things are like torpedoes. They're full of muscle, and they give you one hell of a fight. Well, next thing you know, what happens when a shark starts chasing this torpedo? They kick it up a notch, and you can't control it. They shoot like a rocket, and just watch the action here, what happens when this bonita gets chased down by a shark.
Get ready to reel. Short, fast pump. You gotta go shorter and faster.
As a bass fisherman, we all go out and we love those top water blow-ups. A frog going across some lily pads and just seeing this bass, annihilate it. Let me tell you, I've been spoiled. Watching a shark blow up on a bonita top water, I don't really care about bass anymore.
Big bull shark, come over here, There it is! Oh, there it is! Now is it shark on? Yeah.
Fighting these sharks is a tough job, and seeing Crystal, and we're at the end of the day here. It's probably like 3 o'clock, sun's up, she's getting beaten to death, so she needed some help. So I took the rod over to try to help reel in this shark, but it wasn't enough, and we didn't have the right leader on, and he broke off.
I got all those blow-ups too. We can stop. You can catch them on this. Can you keep going? Yeah. Here, trade off. Yeah. When do you want me to start reeling? When he stops running. No, you need to pump. You need to pull back. Well,
Now that we know that the sharks are in the area, it's time to catch one of these monsters. Now, we just saw Crystal's bonita get destroyed, and unfortunately that was our only bonita bait that we had left, and we had no more sardines to throw out to catch any more live bait. So we had to take a fillet out of the bonita that we had at the back of the boat that we were chumming the water with. And the sharks at first were not very interested in it. They would sit there, swim by it, you know, nose up to it, and at the last second they'd turn it around. And it took, you know, several minutes of enticing these bull sharks to come back in, check out this fillet, and get a bite. And finally, we were lucky enough for one of these bull sharks to come in and take a bite out of it. And let me tell you, when they first take off and we set that drag and that lever forward, it almost jerks you out of the boat. These fish have so much power. I don't know how people fish for these animals out of a kayak. And so, you know, the best way you can reel one of these sharks in is not have all the muscle in the world. It comes down to simple physics and having leverage and weight transfer, sitting back on that rod and applying pressure and pulling up. And as you're pulling up, and when you get to the top, you start to reel down. That's the only way you're going to reel these big fish in. You know, the captain goes over this with you before you go out. And, you know, yeah, I got that. You know, sure, no problem. But when you are sitting there, you know, holding onto this pole with a 300-pound shark, you know, pulling as hard as it can to get away from you, you forget about everything besides that, and you're just kind of like, it's like survival instincts. You know, I don't want to get pulled into the water. There's already 3 bull sharks swimming around. So, you know, you have to take a deep breath and think to yourself, all right, pull up and reel down, pull up and reel down. That's the only way it's going to work. And eventually I got the hang of it, and you can see here in the video. Finally got the bull shark up to the boat. Looks to be about a 7-foot female bull shark. She gave me one hell of a fight. I just want to thank Ben Chansey of Chew on This and Josh Jorgensen of Blacktiph H for allowing me to come down here and get on the boat and complete one of my dreams and cross a big fish off my bucket list. Thank you so very much, guys.